Good afternoon, welcome in. MLS Next Cup Match Day 1 rolls on, tucked in here beautifully into the heart of the Wasatch Mountain Range in Salt Lake City. And we've got a good one here for you on the second game of our broadcast schedule as we move to the U16 division. FC Cincinnati against Real Futbol Academy from New Jersey. A spot in the round of 16 on the line when these two teams go toe-to-toe. I'm Carter Augustine, along with a man who knows this setup well, Jalil Anibaba. More than a decade of experience, of course, in MLS, youth international yourself. And these are exciting moments for these players to come here to MLS Next Cup, a trophy on the line at the end of these 9 days of competition.
Yeah, looking to see who's going to be the national champion here in 2026. A lot of hard work has gone into, first and foremost, teams qualifying. And then when you get here to this stage, you know that all eyes are on you, not just here on our stream, but of course throughout this entire facility. People are watching to see who is going to be the next star.
Of course, who's going to be the next star? Will it be one of the players in these two teams? Let's take a look at the lineups, and we'll begin with FC Cincinnati. And it's a reminder now that the MLS teams at the competition are playing up in age groups. So these are mostly 2011s in this 2010 division. FC Cincinnati with a 4-3-3. And look for Hassan Saker and Hudson Sikala to dominate midfield with Jibril Rivera and Islam Imran to potent attackers, helping to lead the line for FC Cincinnati. Meanwhile, for Real Futbol Academy, qualifying through MLS Next Flex, and they go with the 4-4-2. Liam Gardner in goal, Thomas Cooper and Mason McKenna in the heart of the defense. Christopher Banos wearing the number 10 in midfield for Noah Bullock. And Makai Gordon leading the line for Real Futbol Academy. Those final nervy moments before the match. Jalil Anibaba, what's going through these players' minds as they huddle ahead of this round of 32 encounter at the MLS Next Cup?
That you always want to start the game off well. First touch clean, first tackle aggressive. If you have an opportunity early on in the match, can you bury it? That's what you're always looking to do in the early stages, and that helps the nerves, right? Because you would expect that the first 5-10 minutes or so before the game really settles in, that there are going to be a bit of nervous energy. But when you get yourself into it quick, you're not thinking about nerves, you're thinking about how good you've prepared throughout the course of the season.
Whistle blows, ball rolls, away we go for this round of 32 clash between FC Cincinnati and Real Futbol Academy. As FC Cincinnati left to right, kicking things off in the clean all whites with the orange numbers. Meanwhile, the side from New Jersey, Real Futbol Academy, wearing the blue and golds. Beautiful looking kits, looking crisp as well. Out in the sunshine on a glorious afternoon here in the Salt Lake City area. As it's played over the top, and on the chase is Emery Carter for Real Futbol Academy. Shown towards the end line, he's able to get it back. First time cross in, straight into the midriff of Benjamin Saunders. FC Cincinnati goalkeeper claims.
And what I'm looking for early on in this match is how does the age difference play out here? You have U15 FC Cincinnati side going up against a U16 side on the other side of the line here. The physical difference between just those age groups is very prevalent. You can see here, if you're FC Cincinnati, you're going to have to get the ball on the ground, play intricate football, pass the other team to death. And then on the other side of the line, what you're looking to do is use your physical prowess against FC Cincinnati to be able to become victorious.
Certainly something to watch, the age gap between these two setups with the MLS teams playing up a year throughout the tournament. Talking to the FC Cincinnati coaching staff before the match, they were saying it does look like this Real Futbol Academy side has got that little bit of physical edge to the players. And they were wondering about if this might be a slow pitch out on the grass in the sunshine. It's quickly won back and swiftly into the attack move, Real Futbol Academy. Nice sliding challenge there from Cole Keenan to cut out the cross. Now into feet for Hassan Saker. How about that for a name? It's like he was born to be here. They call that nominative determinism.
You could say that again, man.
Hassan Soccer, U.S. Youth International, and in this group of mainly 2011s, he's one of a few players that is actually even younger. So FC Cincinnati playing up a year, and they're playing several players even younger than that. A crunching challenge along the sideline there by David Will, applauded emphatically by the Real Futbol Academy bench. Touch around the corner for Cincinnati, and back it goes along the back line. Great read in the attack to get a toe in, but Cincinnati somehow managed to keep it alive. On the back line, it's a chase. Mason McKenna getting there first, and that's calmly done through the would-be challenge, sliding it into Will. Loose ball, 2v1. With energy from the captain, Nate Leone. He's called for the foul. It'll be a free kick for FC Cincinnati. Maybe an opportunity to send some bodies up from the back. The center backs are looking back at their coach, and indeed, he's waving them forward here. Set piece opportunity for FC Cincinnati.
Good energy early on in this match.
Just wrapped up the first of our broadcast schedule, as we will be coming to you live from the tournament here through next Sunday. 8 days of action, not 9 as I said in the pre-match. Free kick here for FC Cincinnati. Right at the goalkeeper and held well by Liam Gardner. First match saw Vardar Soccer Club defeat Inter Atlanta FC 2-1. The U15 division. We move on to this U16 division. Looking like a glorious week of weather, knock on wood, of course, but no wood knocking needed today, Jalil. 80 degrees, perfect conditions, can't be any complaints from the players out on the pitch.
Zero complaints whatsoever, man. We're up here in the broadcast booth just straight up chilling. The weather is great, and it's perfect soccer weather. It's not too hot. There's a little bit of a breeze. You can run all day in this. And again, we talked about the energy right where it needs to be early on in this match. It's a little bit chippy, it's aggressive, it's competitive. That's exactly what I like. Just 5 minutes in here, both sides of the line, Real Futbol Academy and FC Cincinnati, they are ready for this because everything has been put into getting to this stage. You sacrifice all year long. Either you're with your host family or you're with your family, working very hard.
Game's first corner goes to Real Futbol Academy. Nodded back into a danger position, trying to spin and hit it on the penalty spot. It was Thomas Cooper Jr. Still alive, second phase of that corner. Touch from Christopher Panos. And the energy is high here in the early stages. Their boys on. They do earn a throw-in high up the park. Will looking for options. Scrambled away. Nice first touch from Gerbil Rivera. He hears the shout from Mateo Anderson. That's good backtracking, good recovery. So it looked a little worrying there for a moment for Real Futbol Academy. All the way through to Saunders. Touch in midfield for Hudson Sakala, Cincinnati. Confidently building from the back here. Down goes Gabriel Jones. Free kick for FC Cincinnati. Round of 32 here in the U16 homegrown division. Teams descending on Salt Lake City from around the United States and Canada for this week of action. That's cleverly worked into the half moon. Some space to get the pass away. It's floated up towards the back post, and a one-hand grab there from Gardner, looking like Odell Beckham Jr. He brings that down.
Gardner does exactly what he needs to do there. That's dangerous service, floated to the back post as a goalkeeper, making sure that he covers the middle of his goal. Does a good job to shuffle his feet over and then keep his hands up where he can make that save in the end at the end of the day. FC Cincinnati doing a good job to be able to play intricately through the middle, and then
trying to play from the back, and now down goes the RFA man, and just questioning the referee if there wasn't a tug on his shoulder. Great pressure from the front there from RFA. Pinching it off the toes of the center back. Couldn't quite get it into a shooting position. That is smashed away. It will be a throw-in for Real Futbol Academy. Spoke to their coaching staff before the match, and they said it's the culmination of a year of hard work to reach this point for Real Futbol Academy. They had to qualify through flex, tough group to get here in the first place, and that's that exciting part for these groups of young men. It's been a long year of battling together, getting the results necessary to give yourselves a chance not only at silverware, but an opportunity to showcase your personal skill set here as well at MLS Next Cup. Kai Gordon has been full of energy leading the line, and he helps to at least keep possession for Real Futbol Academy. Back along the back line, Thomas Cooper Jr. got his eyes up and overcooks it. Being told to relax by his coach. Sent into the box, and Saunders slowing things down here for FC Cincinnati. Mentions Real Futbol Academy qualified through MLS Next Flex. Bouncing ball falls kindly for RFA. They close rather quickly, still loose as it will pop into the area. Still alive here, Aiden Park. Pressure there from Real Futbol Academy, nearly creating a goal-scoring opportunity. Gone. Goal kick for FC Cincinnati. Teams can qualify for the tournament based on league play, the pro player pathway, or MLS Next Flex. We saw from the side from New Jersey. They're back on the ball here. Played infield by Volek. Carter loses out. Shifting from left to right, Cincinnati. Passing triangle. Anderson getting involved with Jones. So too Damon Folks. Ali Diminovich. Confident from Orlando Hernandez. Turned over now, looking forward for Gordon. Down he goes. Shoulder to shoulder, says the referee.
Two close calls there for back line of FC Cincinnati. They're walking on a tightrope. Luckily for them, the referee's allowing both teams to play here early on in this match.
Both involving the number 17 in the blue and golds. Gordon looking like the tip of the spear for Real Futbol Academy to start the match. Volek's just got a little bit of a knock, but he's looking like he'll be able to continue ahead of this throw-in for Real Futbol Academy. Hearing some banging on the boards. You can see it on your screen now as RFA have a few teams at the tournament, and they've got some of their other groups cheering them on here as Futbol Academy move towards the corner flag. Kept in by Emery Carter. He's called for the foul. They're This is a beautiful part of these youth tournaments. You got some of your compatriots cheering you on here.
It's the best part, man. It's the best part. The camaraderie between the different clubs, excuse me, the different age groups in the clubs is awesome. You typically have it ratcheted up tenfold whenever there's a PK shootout, or of course if a goal is scored. But that togetherness and synergy throughout clubs for multiple age groups is what this is all about.
It looks like the U17 bunch for RFA as they'll take on Orlando City tomorrow in their first match. But they've also got U13s at the tournament. Don't think the younger group is quite here yet. They will have their first match on Thursday, but a great showing from RFA. Should say FC Cincinnati likewise got a couple teams here in attendance. In fact, they've got 4 U19s, U14s, U13s here as well for FC Cincinnati. Just playing up a year in these older divisions. Slipped across. Keenan, and that starts the move here for FC Cincinnati, trying to cut through the heart of midfield. On the bounce, played over the top by Park, but a bit aimless, and the roll all the way through to Saunders. From Gilbert Rivera, that was useful. Jones, first attempt blocked, does eventually find its way through the Rivera. Awkward collision, and a foul committed by Emery Carter in the eyes of the referee. Free kick here for FC Cincinnati. Will sends center backs up, the likes of Orlando Hernandez. Try and latch on to the end of this set piece service. Liam Gardner setting his 3-man wall. The line held just about a step inside their own 18 by Real Futbol Academy. Going for goal was Gabriel Jones. Sailing over and out for a goal kick. Quarter of an hour gone. 0-0 between FC Cincinnati and Real Futbol Academy. We made it the start. Jalil Anibaba.
Energetic, competitive, not much in it. Both sides have brought their best as far as making sure that you earn your right to play. That's something that coaches always talk about. In the early stages, you have to be up for the competitive battle. You have to be up for the energy. You can't give any player on the other side of the line the ability to think that they have the mental or competitive edge over you. Both sides have checked that box. Now, as you get past that 15-minute mark, it's typically when the quality starts to come into the game. So which team is going to have more quality?
As you saw there on our scorebug, we are coming to you live from the Regional Athletic Complex, which will be the sites for the first half of the tournament. A little bit more, or they will move to Zion's big stadium for the finals to come. We will have every final for you live on next Saturday and next Sunday from the U15 divisions on up. Take on the thigh from Gordon. Will back into his own half for Mason McKenna. Giving chase defensively, Rivera. Now Christopher Banos sealing it back for Christopher De Leon. Looking for Gordon. Just a dart in behind the back line, keep it in on the end line, Gordon, and he keeps it alive for RFA. Carter couldn't quite get past Ivanovic. Defensive work there from the long-haired left back. Into the throw. On the bounce, cross up towards the top of the box and cut out by FC Cincinnati, but RFA starting to get a good grip on proceedings. That is until the commentator's curse sees it slip under the control of De Leon. Single elimination knockout tournament at MLS NEXT Cup. So no time to work your way into this tournament. You're fighting from the very offsets for your lives and trying to make it through to the round of 16. Vera rode the challenge well, but just not on the same page there. We'll chase it into the corner though, FC Cincinnati trying to lock RFA in, and it does pay off. Work rate wins the ball back for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, it was a good press there from Jones. Forced a long ball from RFA, and they're able to get back on the ball. They've dominated possession. They're looking to play through the lines, patient in their build-up as well. And they've found a lot of joy. Now can they translate that into good looks and clear chances in front of net?
Plenty of time in the center circle. Keenan gonna look towards the near side. Jones asking for it back, and he does get the return from Folks. Rivera. Jones continuing all the way from the right side to the left. Rivera shifted his feet through the double team, kept alive by Ivanovic. Now Jones in towards the back stick. Oh, it was well worked. The cross just a bit too long, looking for Anderson. FC Cincinnati's bench up and applauding that move as it's out for a goal kick.
Here on the left side rather, since he's looking to get ball into that far post, just a little bit overcooked, but I like what we're seeing from FC Cincinnati here. Mainly Rivera on that left-hand side, being very creative, opening up opportunities. Here they come again.
Also backtracking from Islam Imran, and he gets it back only momentarily. It's up towards him as he takes it off the chest under pressure, slides it back along the line and staying in. Kept in well by Folks. Unable to combine there. Imran looking for Saka. Park saw the space on the far side. Now racing forward is Volok. To the end line he goes. Little watch. Ooh, that's clever. Right in front of his club mates on the far side. Some oohs and ahs, but not enough to get past the FC Cincinnati defense.
Plays like that is what we mean about the competitive spirit on both sides of the line. First of all, attacker not making it easy at all for the left side of Cincinnati's defense to be able to figure out how they should tactically go about the one-on-one matchup, but then not giving up. And the defensive efforts were very relentless as well. Look for that to continue to be a main facet of this match, the competitive spirit. You're not going to see either of these sides fold, give up, let plays go by very easily. And that's what is of a premium, but it's what's required this late in the season.
Deflection on the header, took it behind invitingly into the area, given a goal kick. This young man's been full of energy in the early stages. Makai Gordon, another perhaps decision that doesn't quite go his way. He has been running in behind relentlessly to start the match for RFA. No time to step from Will as he plays it out for a throw. as it's taking some time to get the throw in. That was an opportunity for the FC Cincinnati coaching staff to come up towards the edge of their technical area, and that was intriguing to see the instructions given to Gabriel Jones. How about the hold-up play there from Imran as he finds Jones centrally. Islam Imran leading the line. He's a 2013. So he's playing 3 years up against this Real Futbol Academy side here this afternoon.
Yeah, make sure you keep an eye out for Imran Islam as one of the top attacking players in the entire country here. A bright star in the FC Cincinnati Academy. He's done very well with his hold-up play so far. Hasn't had too many clear-cut opportunities or looks at goal, but he can definitely punish this RFA defense by different ways. His movement in the box is very effective. He can run the channels. Talked about hold-up play. He can create his own goal as well. When you talk to FC Cincinnati club members, they're always talking about how much potential this young star has.
Switch is a good one to the near, and that's a clever first touch. Jones creating space for the cross. McKenna positioned well at the front post. Just about halfway through this first half. It's flown by. Haven't really seen too many clear-cut opportunities. High energy, though, from both teams. And the work there applauded by Aiden Park as he helps to win it back for Real Futbol Academy. Gardner pumping it long. Underneath it, Hernandez. Back it goes from Banos. And returns. Eventually settling it down is Gibro Rivera. Shifted across to the captain, Keenan. Jones has seen a lot of the ball here in the early stages. Hudson Sakala didn't quite guide his through ball the way he wanted to. Intercepted, back on it, RFA. Cooper towards Gordon. Knocks it down to keep the move alive. Volek trying to find Gordon instead. Finding the defensive work of Sakala. Got there first to clear the danger. That was a crunching, lunging tackle. Referee on close by to point to the ball one. Doesn't make it any less painful. See Cincinnati back on the ball. And Jones back to his captain Keenan. Good to see Hudson Sakala has picked himself up after that stirring challenge that just took a little bit to recover from. Nobody down the right sideline for that ball, and it'll be a throw in for RFA. Two matches a day coming to you live from MLS Next Cup every day until next Friday, excluding Wednesday. That's a day off to switch locales to Zion Bank Stadium. Looking for Anderson, who tried to turn when he didn't really have room. Park over dribbling. Stepping in was Folks. Taking his time ahead of the throw was Will. Now Park. Back to Will. Gordon and Keenan challenging. Neither team able to dominate any of the proceedings here in the early going. Been back and forth thus far. Jones went for the flick. Will having none of it. Jones able to get back onto it. They're looking for a foul. Cincinnati doesn't come. Finds the runner, Rivera. Rivera can't dribble through the double team. Good backtracking there from Bonos. Looked like it might be a one-on-one until the number 10 got back to help out his defense. Ivanovic hoping to win it back. First time ball over the top, looking for Soccer. He picks it up near the corner flag. Soccer, one-on-one, created space for the cross. Cut out by McKenna. It's in the back of the head there from Anderson. Heard the footsteps perhaps, and he does manage to keep the ball for Cincinnati. They've got a good spell of possession here in the attack. Jones dropping it off for Sakala. That's a bright idea, and it goes towards Imran. Soccer steps past the defender, gets the cross into the 6, and it was dangerous looking before it trickled into the gloves of Gardner. Helped back by Christopher De Leon. Long punt forward from Gardner, asking a lot there of Gordon, who was 1 against 3. Possession conceded from RFA, and there's plenty of space now for Ali Divanovic. Rivera getting it back from Anderson. Nice breeze starting to waft through the stadium. Might that have an impact on aerials? FC Cincinnati patience on the ball. Half an hour gone here in this round of 32 encounter at the MLS Next Cup. Still scoreless between FC Cincinnati and Real Futbol Academy. RFA dropping off defensively here, trying to absorb the pressure. Soccer's got chalk on his boots as he cuts infield now and cuts right into the heart of the defense. Long ball over the top, trying to play Makai Gordon in. Excellent from Keenan.
Yeah, Keenan does very well there to keep his composure. I like that little back heel.
That was clever from Sakala. Sends Cincinnati on their way. Soccer, corner of the box. Rivera was in support. Rivera looking to change fields. And it's unorthodox, but it does arrive eventually.
Yeah, got a little bit fortunate there. The idea was to play it all the way over.
Jones was alert. He stepped back to keep the ball for FC Cincinnati. Now it's worked back to Rivera. Dropping it off towards Ivanovic. Eyes up. Settles it and crosses it. Cooper. Towers to get the header away. And now it's RFA struggling to get a foothold on the ball.
Yeah, at this rate, RFA is going to be defending wave after wave because Cincinnati is, again, doing a good job to stay patient, play balls intricately through the middle, and then when they get into the attacking third, they're looking to find space out on the width. Doing a very good job of doing so. RFA's put a lot of numbers behind the ball. The reason why they're going to be defending wave after wave is because when they gain possession, it looks like this. They just look to play very direct, FC Cincinnati center backs are doing a good job to make sure that they protect, keep good and calm possession when they win the ball back, draw fouls like this where they can bring their bigs forward. At the end of the day, though, what FC Cincinnati is going to need to do is look to convert and put a little bit more pressure on RFA as far as goal scoring opportunities are concerned, because the team out of Jersey and RFA, they're very comfortable defending in their banks and keeping FC Cincinnati at bay.
Free kick to come for FC Cincinnati. There's a man down on the field. The referee's telling him to step off. As both teams are going to use this as somewhat of a de facto hydration break. So they've got no complaints about the temperature, but they're the ones out in the sun running about, and it has been energetic this opening half hour. Opportunity to wet the beaks and have this free kick. Maybe a little bit of a talking to from the FC Cincinnati coach to his players. RFA, for the most part, were standing by defensively, trying to prepare for this oncoming set piece. Momentarily, Noah Volok is checked out. Don't believe he was subbed off. So they're going to be defending this with 10 men. Real Futbol Academy.
Look for service to just be bent around that back line of defense.
That's exactly what happens from soccer. It's high into the sky. Goalkeeper was clutching forward, still alive, cleared off the line. Back to clear the danger, I believe, was Makai Gordon. Best chance of the match so far.
Teasing service to that back post. It's got a little bit of bend on it, but more fade than bend, and why that creates problems. The goalkeeper has to backtrack as FC Cincinnati is coming forward on that service there. It's the striker doing a very good job, and Makai Jordan to clear his lines, doing the dirty work on both sides of the ball there. And if you're an FC Cincinnati fan, this is a sight that you do not want to see.
Well, from a de facto hydration break, we'll get an actual one here as there's a man down for FC Cincinnati. And, well, they don't want their talented young hitman up top to be forced out of the match. It's Islam Imran who's needing a little bit of treatment as we move into the final 10 minutes of normal time here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, just received a little bit of treatment, did Islam Imran. He's a tough one, though, and he's also not going to embellish. If he goes down, he's definitely got some pain, but as they call him in the academy, Izzy, he's a sharp cat, and he looks like he's up and ready to go.
Just about everybody else was able to get a quick water break there ahead of a throw-in to come for FC Cincinnati right in front of their bench here along the near side. Still scoreless, 35 minutes gone here at the Regional Athletic Complex in Salt Lake City. FC Cincinnati hoping to be next in line, as last year 4 MLS Next Academies took the titles in those older age brackets. It was Philadelphia Union, the U15 champs, Real Salt Lake were the U16s, Inter Miami won the U17s, and LA Galaxy champions in 2025 at the U19 division. Keenan went down. They were looking for a foul, Cincinnati, but it's been given as a throw.
All played into the channel. RFA creating some issues there. Very difficult to see if that should be FC Cincinnati's ball or RFA's, but at the end of the day, RFA gets the nod as far as the call is concerned. They get a throw in deep in their attacking area.
I think we get a second look at it. The referees don't look like they made the right call there. Work back to the near sideline after the throw, but Will, a bit of a miscontrol. Back onto it in a flash, so good recovery from David Will, and he earns a throw in for RFA. towards the right back. De Leon sails across to the gloves of Saunders. Cincinnati going to build from the back, as is their MO. Able to turn. Scala, under pressure, sends it in a touch. Hernandez knocks it down. Loose ball picked up by Volek. Still, Volek on the ball. Down he goes. Free kick right on the edge of the area after the fabulous work from Noah Volek.
And Cincinnati has given up a few calls where could have gone against them early on. They got the benefit of the doubt, but this time the referee says no, this is going to be a foul. To your point, Carter, it's right outside the box there, not a penalty kick, but RFA does have the opportunity to bring numbers forward. And at this area of the field, it's very difficult to predict where it's going to go. You have a lot of options. You cut it back toward that PK spot or even top box here for a surprise one off of the training pitch. You can float it to the back post. You can go for power to flash it across the face of goal to create chaos. So again, this area of the field for a set piece is very difficult for a team to defend because you don't know where it's going to go, especially with two players standing over the ball.
David Will, the left back, coming all the way over to the far side. His left foot looking like it will be used to deliver this potent position of a dead ball. Two in the wall for FC Cincinnati, as they try and crowd the goalkeeper, Real Futbol Academy. David Will launches that one, and it's out for a throw-in. Needless to say, not what he was intending from the dead ball. It's like me out on the golf course trying to chip it in from close range and sculling it. But they've done well to win it back, RFA. As the momentum undulates throughout this first half. Saw FC Cincinnati with a good stretch of possession. Now it's Real Futbol Academy who have the advantage in the attacking half, but giving it away, and it will be a throw-in for Cincinnati. Park combining with Will. Kept on the line and in. Getting back was Imran, and he plays it out off the head for a throw-in into the final 4 minutes plus stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Succession of throw-ins down the left-hand side for the New Jersey side. Real Futbol Academy. Up over the top it goes. Both players claiming. Referee points for a Cincinnati throw-in. Good job here, RFA, of locking FC Cincinnati in. And couple minutes where they've been camped inside their own half. MLS side, can they work it away from the defense? Sakala. Clever, Ivanovic. Stutter step move around the defender. But over the line before he could get that pass into Imran.
Just ran out of real estate, did Dijanovic, but I like the patience there to evade that little hesitation, go from third gear straight into fifth. You could skip fourth gear sometimes, you know? And looking for Imran Islam, that's good footwork there on the far side.
He'll have the throw now after its careers off the touch of Volek. In towards Imran, holding it up for Cincinnati. They're able to switch it from left to right. Folks quickly close down, and you hear the approval from the RFA bench. Aiden Park, full of energy to get there in a hurry.
Not much to separate these two. Not much at all.
Haven't seen many clear-cut chances as we're into the final 90 seconds of normal time here at the end of the first half. Mason McKenna intercepting, and he's taking off from his defensive position. It slips in behind for Gordon. Saved by Saunders. Best chance of the match. After the work of Mason McKenna, it fell kindly to Makai Gordon, but Benjamin Saunders there with the goods for Cincinnati.
Driving forward through the middle is RFA. A little bit of an unfortunate first touch there from the center back of FC Cincinnati. It falls right there to the danger man in Makai Gordon. He's unable to convert, couldn't quite get his feet set to get the finish that he was looking for. FC Cincinnati is very lucky that they find themselves still with the scoreline of 0-0.
Free kick now for FC Cincinnati. Just about ready to move into stoppage time. The fourth official just put the board up, but unfortunately didn't have the number on it, so we've got a nice little mystery stoppage time period here. I think it's 1 minute added on at the end of the first half. Here's their time to create an opportunity. Cincinnati with Ivanovic. Little 1-2. Rivera getting involved. Ivanovic. Back it goes to Sakala. Curls in towards the back stick. Actually, it's 2 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Hooked over the shoulder, picked up by Gardner. That was unorthodox. Keenan managed to get a touch. Now quickly, it's into the attack. Imran finding Jones on the end line, digs out a cross, standing it up! And on the posts, it's cleared off the line by Christopher De Leon. Well, it's like that bus you've been waiting for, Jaleel. We were waiting for most of the first half for some golden opportunities, and they're coming all at once here to close out the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, the game definitely opened up as we're getting deeper into this first half here. What I like from both sides is that being a little bit more direct in taking their opportunities. RFA been able to probe through the middle through dribbling and then release their striker there in Gordon. On the flip side of the line, FC Cincinnati has done a very good job, namely through Islam Imran, to be able to create opportunities. Here he goes again.
His ears burning. He steps onto it, keeping it alive for soccer through traffic! Oh! On the cusp of halftime, FC Cincinnati take the lead. Hassan Soccer smashing it through the traffic. FC Cincinnati 1, Real Futbol Academy 0.
Yeah, we talked about the hold-up play from Imran here. He drops it in a little bit deep and then gets Soccer to a very good area there, top of the box. Soccer has still a lot to do. Look, skips past one, skips past another, gets it out of his feet, goes against the grain. It's a difficult save for the goalkeeper to make because he's expecting Soccer to put his finish to his left. He goes to his right, unable to shuffle over. 1-0 to FC Cincinnati late in the first half.
Soccer with perhaps the last kick of the first half. Great hold-up play from Imran through traffic. And Cincinnati draw first blood just before the break. The whistle rings out. And the referee brings to a close the first half of action. It was pensive through a large portion, energetic throughout the entire first half. The chances started to come late on, and Jalil Anibaba, it was FC Cincinnati who took one of their chances through Hassan Soccer. FC Cincinnati leading by a goal to nil over Real Futbol Academy as we move to halftime here at MLS Next Cup. Stick with us, we'll be back for highlights and analysis, but first a little peek at the World Cup to come this summer.
They say the world's game is played everywhere. This is how we play it here. Every weekend across North America. From Vancouver's mountain rain to the shores of Florida. From the City of Angels to the Heartland. The world's brightest stars light up our fields.
Let's go.
And our fans bring the world to life. In every language, in every city. One game, one roar. Sold out nights under lights. New soccer citadels rising from coast to coast. Every chant, every goal, another brick in a growing relief. Now, the world's biggest stage comes to our home. And when they arrive, they'll find the game's heartbeat has been here all along.
Beautiful Salt Lake City, the hosts for MLS Next Cup 2026. We're at halftime in the U16 division. FC Cincinnati playing up a year, and they're up a goal over Real Futbol Academy at the break. Along with Jalil Anibaba, I am Carter Augustine, and well, Jalil, we saw a highly energetic start to the match, but the chances were at a premium, that is, until that glut of chances towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, the game opened up as we got further and further toward halftime. I like the competitive spirit. I like the fact that both teams understood that, hey, this is the MLS Next playoffs, and you have to bring your absolute best. It's not going to be easy to find yourself into the next round here. FC Cincinnati able to convert late in that first half there by Hassan Soccer does very, very well to get that go-ahead goal. The second half is going to have a lot of dramatics because you can expect for the game to open up and the quality on both sides of the line to show itself.
Well, Hassan Soccer has FC Cincinnati in front. Will he be, or who will be, the next star to emerge from MLS Next Cup? Well, LAFC 2 midfielder Brian Moyado was named the 2021-22 MLS Next MVP and participated in the 2022 MLS Next All-Star Game. Last year, he sat down with MLS Next Pro to discuss his experience coming up through the LAFC Academy and more.
My name is Brian Moyado. I play for LAFC 2 and my position is center defensive mid.
For Brian Moyado, wearing the black and gold has been more than a dream. Growing up in Los Angeles, Brian found more than just a club. He found a home.
It means a lot. Growing up here in LA, this is a club that gave me a lot of opportunities, which I'm really grateful for. Not only me, but my family. We're really grateful for this club, and it means a lot to me. You know, just wearing this badge every day, coming into the facilities every day, it just gives you that energy to work hard and just keep on progressing every day.
From the academy to the professional stage, Brian has grown with LAFC, on the field and off of it.
This club changes you a lot. It matures you at a young age for sure. I had a big injury 2 years ago, so I feel like that injury for sure made me more mature outside of the field. And also just the staff here for sure they push you outside of the field to be your better self.
That growth soon turned into recognition. Brian was named to the inaugural MLS Next All-Star Game in 2022.
You play with all the best from MLS Next, so it was a fun game. I had a lot of fun. It just gives you that encouragement to keep on pushing. And, you know, I told myself, you're doing great, but the job is not done. So just keep on pushing.
And in 2023, Moyado achieved a milestone that meant everything, his professional debut.
It meant a lot, not only for me, but for my family. We were very grateful for that opportunity that LAFC gave me. And that only meant one step closer, which was getting to the first team level. So it just motivates you to keep on working. It was a big accomplishment.
As a player, Brian prides himself on keeping things simple, dictating tempo, and doing the work that often goes unnoticed.
The way I would describe my game is, I mean, it's pretty simple. I keep it simple. I don't like to be too flashy. You know, 1-2 touches. I give some, I guess, tempo to the game. If we gotta play quick, then we'll play quick. If we gotta keep it calm, then we'll play calm.
What I like about Brian is that he's someone that has dealt with adversity. He's been through the injury process and has worked himself back to a really good rhythm. He has a vision and really links us up in the midfield position to progress the ball in our possession progression. He's a hard worker and very good professional.
Moyado's journey has also included the honor of representing the U.S. on the international stage.
It was amazing, man. Those are good memories, memories that you never, take for granted. It was great opportunities. It gives you exposure not only from here, from LA, but from all over the world. And it meant a lot for me, just putting that badge on for the first time. It just gives you that energy to, represent your country at the top level and give it your all every game, I feel like just the intensity of these training camps is just so high. Everything is just so intense that you're always at your 100%. Bringing that into this environment back not only helps me, but also helps my teammates.
Through it all, Brian remains grounded, humble, hardworking, and focused on enjoying every step.
Halftime at the MLS Next Cup round of 32 in the U16 division, homegrown division. It's FC Cincinnati 1, Real Futbol Academy 0 at the break. One 0 to FC Cincinnati at halftime. Let's take a look at the first half highlights.
FC Cincinnati. They're the aggressor. They had a few more clear-cut opportunities, and they are starting by floated service to the back post, creating some issues there. The striker in Gordon is the one that is clearing the ball off the line. RFA gets himself into this match here. This is an excellent little run through the midfield. Fortuitous bounce goes right to Makai Gordon. He's unable to finish right here. He can't quite get his feet set. He's going for that wrapped around service, looking to go left of the goalkeeper. He definitely wants that one back. On the flip, it's all about FC Cincinnati. Islam Imran looking to really become that potential goal scorer / facilitator. Good defensive pressure on that back line to clear it off the line there for RFA.
Well, all the chances you're seeing really came in the last 5 minutes of the first half as it opened up, and just before halftime, it was FC Cincinnati in front.
And rolling off of that number 9 position is Islam and he is able to get Hassan Soccer into a very good spot, but Soccer has so much work to do here. A little pass is right into his left foot with a little finish, against the grain. Goalkeeper will want that one back, but it's difficult to shuffle to your left and have to get back to your right. 1-0 to FC Cincinnati going into the halftime break.
Take a gander at the halftime statistics. And like we just talked about, the chances weren't really coming. That was until the last 5 minutes of that first half, as these two teams had a lot of energy in the opening, but were kind of feeling themselves out in this round of 32 clash.
Yeah, they really were. The competitive spirit, again, was at a very, very high order. It's not going to be easy to be able to get yourself back into this game if you're RFA, and it won't be easy for FC Cincinnati to keep their lead at 1-0, because this is going to continue to be a very competitive match here. If you talk about how this game really played out, FC Cincinnati had the wave of possession, moving of the ball back and forth. They dictated the flow of the attack. But when you talked about counterattacks and the ability to release a potent striker in Gordon Ford, RFA had that checked off on their list. So look for the second half to be one that is very competitive and unsure as far as from our seat is concerned, Carter, who is going to run away with this one and advance into the next round.
Slight advantage for FC Cincinnati, work for Real Futbol Academy to do in the second half. Stick with us. We'll be right back for that second half of action as you're watching MLS Next Cup. Welcome back into the Regional Athletic Complex in Salt Lake City, Utah. 1-0 FC Cincinnati on top of Real Futbol Academy at the break. We're getting ready for the second half in the sunshine. A beautiful day here in the capital city. And a round of 16 berth on the line for these two sides. As it stands, it's advantage FC Cincinnati. But in our first match, broadcast live earlier this morning, the team that was down at the break came racing out of the blocks in the second half and quickly turned it around. Vardar Soccer Club were down 1-0 against Inter Atlanta FC in the U15 division, and Vardar got that turnaround they needed. All that to say, Jalil Anibaba, that this game is far from over. Real Futbol Academy with a half left to try and pull themselves back on level terms.
Yeah, lots to play for. Very level as far as chances are concerned. If RFA puts away their chance, you can be looking at a completely different scenario at this point in time. FC Cincinnati creates one off of their high press and then quality from Imran as well to bump it over to Hassan Soccer. He does the rest there with his nifty feet and then an excellent finish against the grain. So this game for me, although FC Cincinnati dominated possession in the flow of the game, it is completely even as far as chance creation is concerned. This second half will also be very competitive.
Teams have flipped sides, of course, at the break, getting ready to kick off the second half now left to right. Real Futbol Academy trailing 1-0 after that first half stoppage time goal from Hassan Soccer. Didn't see any subs in the first half. As as we are underway for the second period of action. And already RFA striking the woodwork. Well, from a wildly tight angle, that was danger. As Real Futbol Academy start the second half off with some intent.
And wasting no time at all. I told you that this game is going to be competitive. If you come out of the locker room, sleep, you might find yourself having a very bad dream. RFA is looking to equalize, and I like this energy. One thing that we talked about from the beginning of this game is understanding what is at stake. What is at stake is the ability to compete to be the national champion. RFA has stepped up their lines. They're pressing in a similar fashion that FC Cincinnati did in the first half, and I like the way that they've started this second half.
I mentioned there were no substitutions in the first half. We have seen a new player out on the pitch for the blue and gold of RFA. That's the number 7, Jack Joseph, getting involved. As it was David Will who nearly fitted it in that tight angle. Now Mason McKenna trying to spin away from the pressure. And he's able to recover ahead of Gabriel Jones. Second ball picked up by Hudson Sakala. Now Hernandez off the mark. First time pass to get it going into the attack. That was bright from De Leon. Carter wins a corner.
First corner kick of the match there. Now RFA is going to look to bring their bigs forward. I would expect the service to be floated into the back post. For FC Cincinnati, that's a good block there from the left back, just to make sure that that service doesn't get into the danger zone.
Nate Leone, the captain, setting it down on the near side corner. High, floating towards the back part of the area, and it floats and curls away from everybody in blue and gold. They've had some decent set-piece opportunities, RFA, but haven't been able to create anything from them. Hernandez up towards Imran. Second ball picked up by Rivera. Gilbert Rivera through 2 defenders, sneaks his pass through the legs. De Leon calm. As rushing towards him was Imran, and he keeps the ball for Real Futbol Academy. Back pass had McKenna a bit worried. He just had to rush onto it to get it clear. Cincinnati rolling it all the way back to Saunders. Of course, they'll be in no rush. De Leon around Jones. Cleverly done there by the captain. Sends RFA into the attack. Nice little deke. Banos changes feet. Now he finds Joseph. Up towards the back stick, and a foul spotted by the referee as Divanovic was there to try and see off the danger, shoved down, and goal kick, free kick. It'll be from about the same position.
Yeah, good defensive positioning from Divanovic to make sure that he's inside of the man there. That's where a lot of outside backs on the weak side can get themselves into trouble. They find themselves on the wrong side of an attacker, and then it's an easy header from that back post. Oops, floated service, but Divanovic in a good spot.
Imran putting his side under pressure. Into the area, Carter couldn't create a little window. Swarming back defensively with the white shirts of FC Cincinnati. Intercepted De Leon. Sliding in Carter, and he popped up quickly to his feet to draw the foul. Frustration for Rivera, who's the guilty party. It'll be a free kick for Real Futbol Academy. 5 minutes gone here in the second half, and the blue and gold, who have come out strong from the halftime team talk.
Yeah, they've created a lot of problems. They flipped the script on FC Cincinnati and basically gave them a taste of their own medicine, which is pressing them high, turning them over, getting second chances at their initial ability to find joy in their attacking third.
Interesting movement ahead of that set piece as players were peeling around the line held by FC Cincinnati, but in the end, Cincinnati cleared the danger, and that's a yellow card for an RFA man to prevent the Cincinnati counter. Jack Joseph, the man with the yellow card, the halftime substitute, first player booked here this afternoon. Stevanovic dribbling from left to right, finding Folks. Stevanovic has continued his run. He might be out of position now. Ball floating over the top is an easy one in the end to deal with for Keenan. Rivera.
Again, it's good press from RFA. As Cincinnati is looking to build out, they're unable to do it as successfully as they did in the first half, because in the first half, RFA's lines were dropped a little bit deeper. They did not have a line of confrontation that really put Cincinnati under any pressure. That's an excellent ball out.
Gloriously sprayed to the far side, space for Jones to attack. Dancing his way to the corner of the area. Trying to take it all on himself there. Unable to make anything of that diamond of a diagonal. And that's a shove in the back. Well seen by the referee. Just two hands in the small of the back. Not the most contact from Sakala, but enough to push Carter, ease him from underneath that ball in the air. And it'll be a free kick for Real Futbol Academy. Reminder for just joining us, MLS teams playing up a year, as that's a new initiative here in 2026. At least in the upper divisions, as it were. The U15s here for FC Cincinnati playing in the 16s. U16s will play up for the 17s, and U18s will play up for the U19s for teams from MLS at the MLS NEXT Cup 2026. Dribbled over the line by FC Cincinnati, says the referee. Throw in right on the halfway line for RFA. Joseph. He did well to spin away from the double team, but wasn't quite aware of his surroundings thereafter. Pressure. Gordon leading the line once again. Take it off the toes of Keenan. Gordon holding it up. Defense turned to attack here for RFA. Into the area, good ball in! Real Futbol Academy level. Christopher Bonos flicks his header back and over the goalkeeper. And they go celebrate with their fellow RFA players. A wonderful start to the second half for Real Futbol Academy as it's 1-1.
get toward the end line, it creates a lot of problems because the defense has to honor that. They need to drop. But then when you play it up even to the 18-yard box, they need to step their lines up. And when you can get floated service to make the defense backtrack or turn toward their goal, it's very difficult to defend. Why? Because you can't see the ball and you're the attacker that is facing exactly where you need to go. Bonos does exactly what he needs to do. Just a little skim header there, run to the corner. Hey, it's lit. They celebrating. Game on. 1-1 here in Salt Lake City.
Wild celebrations for the club mates of this Real Futbol Academy U16 side. I think that's the U17s that are here on hand today. The beauties of tournaments like these. Christopher Bonos showed great awareness there with the back flick header. Now it's picked off by Makai Gordon. Tip of the spear once again for RFA as he charges in towards goal. Momentum is in blue and gold. Corner kick for Real Futbol Academy.
I like the energy of this game. I've been saying it from the beginning, but now that we got goals on both sides, really have to stand up and be counted in this match where you have something off to the training ground.
Gonna change the angle for the corner. Back in it goes from the Captain Leon. Good control from the goal scorer Bonos, keeping it alive for Park. Dip and duck his way through a couple challenges. Out for a throw off Nate Leone. Fabulous goal from Real Futbol Academy. Started with the pressure from Makai Gordon. He's been at it since the opening kick. Clever back flick header from Bonos. How about the service as well from the left back David Will with his quote-unquote weaker foot. The right foot floated in for the assist.
Yeah, lethal service.
Gordon holding it up for Carter. Those two looking to combine, and they do so. A fluid attacking move developing here for RFA. Gordon, back it goes towards Carter, just behind him. Might have taken a slight deflection. The two down the right-hand side, Makai Gordon and Emery Carter there, sprinting into the attack.
I really like how Gordon has kind of changed his game in this second half. In the first half, he was looking to get a little bit more direct. He's come off the lines to facilitate a little bit more. It's paying a lot of dividends here for RFA. Ooh, that's excellent skill.
Jones trying to reverse the pass. It's offside against Islam Imran. Wait. To see it was a center official, but the far side assistant was all over it. Fabulous skill to start the move, but just straying offside was Islam Imran. Offside reset to come from Benjamin Saunders. I beg your pardon. Got the wrong goalkeeper here, Liam Gardner. Sprays it into the attack for RFA. Easy interception for Joseph. Now it's McKenna looking long, angled towards the sideline, away from Will in the end, and a throw-in for FC Cincinnati. Adrian Maldonado going to check in, and looks like this will shift Gibral Rivera back to left back. His coaching staff was telling us that he's versatile. He basically can just play all up and down the left-hand side, so he'll shift back after Ali Divanovic is withdrawn, and on checks Adrian Maldonado. First change for FC Cincinnati. We'll take a look back at that lovely bit of skill.
You like that there. Jones just being able to be very inventive to create an opportunity to try to get Islam Imran in, running in, Imran doesn't hold his run, he's offside at the end of the day. But look for Jones to be one of the players that FC Cincinnati is going to look to try to rely on here to get themselves in the position that they were in earlier in this match, which was leading the game.
Pressure from RFA draws the cheers from their fans. Picking up Will, plucked off his toes by Jones. Jones can duck around the first challenge, and he did draw the foul. See him asking if that might be worthy of a yellow card. It'll just be the free kick taken quickly here by FC Cincinnati. Trying to disguise his pass, Rivera. Intercepted momentarily by Joseph. Rivera back onto it in a flash. De Leon shifting around Maldonado. Carter. Trying to get the edge on Rivera. And Rivera sticking to his task defensively, overcomes Soccer to help him out. Soccer stumbling after the challenge. It'll be a yellow card, and that will be to the goal scorer, Christopher Banos.
One goal scorer to another. Soccer just looking to skip up the near left-hand side. There is contact there from, again, the other goal scorer, Mbanos. Referee says, hey, man, that's going to be a yellow card because it's not quite a transitional moment, but Soccer is well ahead of him. And when you go down like that and catch some of the ankle or the shin, it's going to be a yellow card. It's going to be interesting is on this left-hand side, the matchup now with Jabril Rivera coming over. How does FC Cincinnati still manage that while throwing numbers forward?
Space to turn for Sakala. Trying to feed it in towards Imran. Didn't send it close enough to the sideline. Knocked on header is going to escape the remit of Jabril Rivera. A change to come for Real Futbol Academy. As Emery Carter checks out, he's replaced by Dylan Ochoa. I'd like to see that reaction from Carter. He was frustrated to be brought off, as that's over the top and out of his area came Gardner. Cincinnati in from the throw. Anderson plays it wide right. Imran can't make it stick. Just clearing the lines there, Real Futbol Academy. Cincinnati thought that was a foul. Their captain Keenan still looking and not walking the most comfort. They have it into the attack now. Curling cross in. Headed out. Right on the edge of the 6. Step overs. Clever work there. Highlighted Gabriel Jones. He draws a free kick in a tantalizing offensive position. Wonderful dribbling skill from the Cincinnati number 8. He's going to walk away as Hassan Soccer take control of the dead ball, 2 in the wall in the blue and gold of Real Futbol Academy.
Up to the back post.
That's exactly where it goes, curling out towards the back stick. Still alive for Cincinnati. Sakala sending it centrally, but it's cast aside by RFA. Battle for possession there. Sliding in and timing it well. All of a sudden, it's RFA racing into the attacking half. Gordon Just ran out of room, and he slipped as he tried to stand on it on the sideline. Sakala gonna play it in behind, pass and chase here, and Jones is onto it in a hurry. Oh! Matched well by McKenna there, but McKenna smashes it in a touch.
Matchups in the wide area become a premium when you have a match like this, where there's not much to split the two teams. Typically where you're looking to isolate players are with your wingers with a head of steam going at the outside backs. That's exactly what FC Cincinnati look to do on the far side here, and they're going to keep that up. Talk more about how RFA is looking to do it on this near right-hand side as well for them, because Javier Rivera here on the ball, he is an attack-minded player that can play in the back. Underlaps, overlaps, he's going to look to charge forward, but if RFA can exploit the space that he leaves very quickly, it could pose a lot of problems for FC Cincinnati.
Soccer slipping, but regaining his footing to keep ball here for FC Cincinnati. 90-minute matches in the U16 division. But only the finals of each age group will go to extra time if necessary. If it ends all square at the end of the 90, straight to penalties all the way through the semifinals. Cross aimed towards Maldonado. Too tall in the end, out for a goal kick. We're about midway through this second half of action. What have you made so far of the second half in this round of 32 clash?
It's about being proactive, and RFA did that very well to come out of the locker room / the tents, if you will, to make sure that they were the aggressor. They were rewarded for that mindset and execution. The game is level now. It's lulled off here where you can't find where that go-ahead goal, if there will come from. But this is typically where, quote-unquote, stars emerge. When the game lulls off, minds and bodies start to get a little bit weary. Who is able to put all of that to the side and find a moment?
Second bite at the cherry here for Rivera. Sakala getting involved. Well worked on the left-hand side, and FC Cincinnati have manufactured a corner. I believe this is their first corner of the match.
Yeah, and they do it with intricate passing up the left-hand side. We talked about Rivera's ability to wiggle in and out of tight spaces to create the passing throughout his teammates on the left-hand side as he started it to continue on, earn them their first corner of the afternoon.
Soccer sets it down, whips it in towards the near, low and hard, and it's only blue shirts there to cast it out.
Yeah, Gordon with a good clearance header. He's been excellent throughout the course of this match, but has elevated his game in the second half. Talked about his ability to facilitate, and he's willing to do the dirty work as well. In the first half, he dropped in and cleared a ball off the line. Keeps his team in the game. Excellent performance for him so far.
Ears are burning for Gordon as he tries to hold things up for RFA. Of course, it was his line leading work that won the ball high up the pitch, leading to the equalizer early on in this second half. Keenan. Rivera. Oh, Soccer. Chips it round the defender. Rivera. Infield it goes towards Imran. That's cleverly done. There's space on the far side. Anderson looking to cut it back, unable to do so.
Good defending there from RFA. There's cover toward the top of the box should he elect to cut it back, but then there's touch-tight pressure to make sure that 1v1 defending is very resolute. Good stuff, and there was help defense there. Not much solutions that Cincinnati were able to come up with because the RFA defense was well allocated and aggressive.
Yeah, looked like there were gaps after Imran's good work, but those gaps quickly closed. Tackle was made by David Will. As Real Futbol Academy are setting up a double substitution to come. Anywhere will do there for McKenna, as Imran was creating the pressure. Here will come that double change. Checking in, Jacob Yates and Mason Fowler. Checking out Aiden Park and Christopher De Leon. Four subs now utilized by Real Futbol Academy. 1-1 into the final 20 minutes of normal time. Spot in the round of 16 on the line in this U16 division matchup. Shift around the corner. Anderson didn't come off the first time. He's onto it again, looking for Maldonado, and that's a good bit of defending. Over on the cover was McKenna. Winner of this match will move on to play the winner of Albion SC out of San Diego against Weston FC out of Florida. All corners of the United States just about represented here at MLS NEXT Cup 2026. Wind starting to whip up here. And Cincinnati thought they had a free kick their way, but it's actually been given the opposite direction. Free kick for Real Futbol Academy. As they ask Gordon to press and lead the line, and he's there again. Drawing rave reviews from his club mates watching on from the far sideline. Gordon. Thomas Cooper Jr. getting it forwards. It's Banos onto it. Banos handing it off for Ochoa. Oh. Saved initially, and it trickles over the line. Who got the final touch? Real Futbol Academy don't care. They're sprinting to the corner to celebrate. Ochoa claiming it off the bench and into the goals. Dylan Ochoa, and from a goal nil down at halftime, Real Futbol Academy lead 2-1.
Isolating players wide has been the name of the game in the second half. We talked about how dangerous that can be. Look, you see here, the goal scorer Banos bumps it on here to the substitute, and man, this is very, very unfortunate for FC Cincinnati. Again, when you're able to get toward the inline with not much pressure wide, it creates a lot of problems. Put it in the mixer, and this is extremely unfortunate. In the end, it looks like it's Keenan that scores the own goal, but you can't fault him, because if he doesn't come across and get that intervention, you're probably looking at a situation where RFA is going to score naturally through the run of play. 2-1 in the 75th minute here. A lot to play for both teams here, but RFA ahead in this crucial stage of the match.
Own goal in the end for Keenan, as racing towards it was Makai Gordon trying to just help it over the line. swiftly up the other end from the restarts as FC Cincinnati look to respond. Free kick. And it's a prime position for a dead ball scenario, FC Cincinnati, as we move into the final quarter hour of regular time. Yellow card for Mason McKenna. Third player booked, all for Real Futbol Academy. Standing over the dead ball is Gabriel Jones. Gonna curl it to the top of the 6. Well read by the blue and golds. Second face to come for FC Cincinnati. That's a useful shot fake. Cross fake, I should say, from Soccer, as he, in the end, wins the corner.
Well done there from Soccer, just to get another corner kick on the afternoon. Good ingenuity, good creativity.
Soccer towards the back post. Tentative header in the end as it flies up over the bar, out for the goal kick to Real Futbol Academy. Forward Will. Keenan hammering it away. Don't see the pressure coming from Real Futbol Academy in this second half. They've got a man down with a bit of a cramp on the halfway line. We're getting into the late stages of the match. Sun shining down brightly on everybody here in Salt Lake City, right around 81 degrees. And with this bit of cramp, it's actually going to, the referee's going to allow the teams to move to the sidelines. A water break, hydration break here, with just about 13 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. It's the captain, Leone, who's the man that needed a bit of help with his cramp. And his coach is asking him if he's able to continue or if he needs to be subbed off. Not much of a team talk from Real Futbol Academy during this hydration break, but there is quite the bit of chatter going on in the FC Cincinnati huddle from their coach as they try and pull back onto level terms. It does sound like that will be the end of the afternoon for Nate Leone. Well, a moment for everybody to catch their breath ahead of the grandstand finale here in this round of 32 clash. Subs being prepared by both teams. And checking in for FC Cincinnati is Lincoln Sakala. He replaces Mateo Anderson, younger brother of Hudson, out to join his bro here in 2013. Lincoln Sakala. Checking in was Jeremiah Ware for the captain, Nate Leone. And immediately into the action, Ware. Free kick for Real Futbol Academy. Not going to send the center backs up at this stage in the match, but they do still have the quartet in blue and golds waiting along the back post ahead of this free kick opportunity. Low trajectory service intercepted by Lincoln Sakala. Jones spins past one defender. He gets stuck into the 50-50. It breaks his way, but sliding in was McKenna. Now wearing the armband after the departure of Leone. Ware, shoulder to shoulder, cleared away by Cincinnati. Ochoa losing out. Maldonado handing it off to Imran. Sprayed over to the far side by Hudson Sakala. Jones saw two runners in whites. Second ball there. Free kick given.
I'm not sure what the call was there.
Maybe just a little tug of the shirt. Yeah, it didn't look like a whole lot. Hassan Soccer looked like he was confident the call would come. And actually the whistle does blow. So an opportunity.
Yo, boys, left. Move left.
Here, Liam Gardner barking out the instructions for the five-man wall. There's two over this dead ball for FC Cincinnati. They've got options from this central position.
Yeah, they really do. They have the goal scorer and Soccer over it with the right-footed ability, and now Rivera with the left.
This Soccer into the wall. Just gonna smash it into touch there, David Will, to clear the lines for Real Futbol Academy. Still gotta play is the instruction from the RFA bench. It's not wrong, still 7.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Soccer slipping it through, Maldonado, offside. The line perfectly held there by Real Futbol Academy.
Yeah, the defensive unit for RFA has been solid, especially in the second half. They're understanding exactly where the potential gaps are, but most importantly, they're allocated well when they're defending in the box. They don't drop one player back to keep attacking players on the FC Cincinnati side on side. What RFA is looking to do, though, when they defend resolutely, is to maintain possession. Their coaching staff has been relentlessly barking at them to make sure that they don't just play balls over the top.
Gordon rips it off the defender. He rounds the goalkeeper. Oh my, cleared off the line. Could that be a game-saving challenge? FC Cincinnati still in it thanks to Cole Keenan. It looks like it would be 3-1.
Oh, man, this is exciting stuff here. Gordon just picks the pocket, and you would put every single dollar you got in the bank that he's scoring that one. But Cole Keenan says, nah, man, I'm making the block off the line. This is excellent stuff, and that's what you look for from a top center back. This is exciting as we get later and later into this match here. Dramatics at the highest order. The captain is showing why he's got the armband on his left.
It was his misfortune. That was the own goal. Whipped in towards the near post on the corner. Touch to it was from Rivera. Traipses all the way through along the far side. Throw in to come for Real Futbol Academy. This young man has been superb throughout the course of the afternoon.
Yeah, he's been all over this match. All over it. And what I like about the way he's gone about his performance is that he's changed the things that he's needed to do based on what the match has dictated. In the first half, he was mainly a willing runner through Route 1, going through the center of the defense of FC Cincinnati. He's shaded off toward the right and left-hand sides to create more trouble. He's facilitated a little bit more, has Gordon. Picks the pocket there on the high press. He's unfortunate to convert. It's not for heroics from Keenan. This is a 3-1 scoreline, and RFA is probably walking into the next round. Keenan does an excellent job to keep his side in it. They need a moment of brilliance from their attacking players to get themselves into this match.
Maybe just unfortunate to not have the goal to go along with his performance. Nearly putting it out of reach for Cincinnati. Gordon. Heroic block from Keenan. Will it bring Cincinnati back into the match? Can they find an equalizer in these final 4 minutes plus stoppage time? Rivera. Centrally towards Jones. Loose ball picked up by Maldonado. Keenan. Header out of the area, picked up by Jones. Had his heel clipped. Ochoa called for the foul. Free kick for FC Cincinnati.
Daniels, front, Jerry, front. Jacob in the wall. Mason McKenna in the wall. Score. Yo, Mackay out. Or Benos out.
Time is running out for FC Cincinnati. Will they have many more clear-cut chances before the end of the match? Islam Imran hasn't taken any of the dead balls thus far, but he's back for this one for FC Cincinnati. 4 in the wall for RFA. Instead, it's Jones, and he screams in frustration, sending that well high and wide. Looked like the howl of a young man who expected more from himself on that dead ball opportunity.
Yeah, he's frustrated. Jones has quality. He wants that one back. The reason why is because he thinks that he can get, obviously, the strike that he's looking for. Get his head over the ball a little bit more, wrap his foot around it so that it stays on frame.
Frustration on the bench for RFA. They thought they tackled that cleanly. Instead, it's given as a foul and a free kick. Let's look at how aggressive RFA have been, especially in the second half. The foul count was pretty close at halftime. The Real Football Academy have come out basically from that second half kick and have been full of energy and full of fight to come from behind at halftime and lead late on into the match. Full sprint necessary there from Rivera to keep it in. He's around one defender, can't get around the seconds. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Chip forward by Jones, a bit aimlessly in the end. Cleared up the line. Coach for RFA getting some cheers from his bench as he had a magnificent first touch on that ball out of play. Back in action it is. RFA back onto the ball. Ochoa. Strength from Imran. A reminder, he's playing up 3 years as he muscles in and wins it back. There's space for Folks on the far side. Folks floating across, up over the head of Soccer and into touch.
Time is dwindling for FC Cincinnati. What they're looking for is that last little bit of quality. They do a good job to get into the attacking third, create half chances, but then when they need that either final pass or that final tenacious action to just go on goal, it's evading them. Where RFA has done a good job to get numbers behind the ball, not make situations where FC Cincinnati has clear-cut chances and looks at goal under comfortable looks. They're stressed out at times when that last ball is supposed to come in, and that's from good defending and good competitive spirit from RFA.
Into stoppage time now at the end of the 90. A minimum of 4 minutes added on by the referees. 4 minutes for FC Cincinnati to find an equalizer and send it through to a penalty kick shootout. 4 minutes for RFA to hold on to book their passage through to the round of 16. Space for Soccer. As he finds it infield. It's wayward from Sakala. Every loose ball, every decision being applauded by the Real Futbol Academy bench. .50-51 by Lincoln Sakala. Just smashed away from his own half there by Ochoa. Lumped forward. Imran chests it down. First time from Sakala. The two 2013s combining there for Cincinnati. Floated back in towards Imran. Knockdown header is going to be picked up just outside the area. Mason Fowler got over in a hurry to see to that danger. He tackles it away out for a throw. Again, Fowler doing well defensively. Ochoa able to play it off. Cincinnati out for a throw into Real Futbol Academy. Sakala back for Keenan. Lumping it forward towards Imran. It's in behind for Soccer. Soccer squares it across. What a chance! Cleared away from danger, out for a corner. Cincinnati in a hurry. Take the corner shorts. Cross couldn't get over the blue and golds. Already halfway through the 4 additional minutes. Stepping forward, Hernandez. Loose ball picked up by Cincinnati. Sakala into a double team. Stepping forward, tackle there from Keenan to keep it in the attack. Maldonado shifts it to his right. They're creating some opportunities. Cincinnati frustrated as that sails over the crossbar. Just about a minute or so remaining of the stoppage time given by the referees. Only a couple granules of sand left in the hourglass here for FC Cincinnati. Floating one over towards the right-hand side. Underneath it was David Will, and that's a free kick that will be worth its weight in gold. Jacob Yates able to kill off some of the clock. That was a yellow card doled out for an FC Cincinnati man. Damon Folks, first player booked in the final seconds of stoppage time for FC Cincinnati. Garner going to angle that towards the corner flag. They look to kill off the remaining few seconds of stoppage time. Clever from Soccer to let it run across his body, but he couldn't connect with a teammate. Trying to chip it forward was Rivera, blocked at the source. Check of the watch from the referee. Well, he put whistle to lips, but not to blow for full time. One final opportunity perhaps for Cincinnati. Floating it forward, and that's intelligent to let it run. Real Futbol Academy come from behind. They defeat FC Cincinnati and move on to the round of 16 at the MLS NEXT Cup. What a response in the second half from the side out of New Jersey, down a goal at halftime. and they win by 2-1 in this round of 32 encounter.
And you can see what it means when you advance into the next round. There's all hype. There is a lot of very good feelings on one side of the line. On the other side of the line, you can see the despair, because when you work all year long to get to the playoffs, all you want to do is advance for the opportunity to play for the national championship. FC Cincinnati is out. RFA continues on.
2-1, and the odd goal in 3 in favor of Real Futbol Academy as they come from a 0-0 down at halftime, overturn it, and move on to the round of 16. As now we'll take a look at the man of the match presented by Adidas. Your man of the match here today, the number 10, Christopher Banos for Real Futbol Academy, as he got the equalizer.
Yeah, gets the goal scoring started for RFA. This is a good little faded header here. This clip ball freezes the defense of FC Cincinnati, and then Banos does the rest, says, hey, everybody follow me. We gonna celebrate with all of our boys here, because we're one step closer into what we want, and that is a national championship game here. RFA moves on to the next round. Christopher Banos is your man of the match.
You can hear the celebrations on the bench for Real Futbol Academy. Their journey continues at MLS NEXT Cup. FC Cincinnati leading at the break. Crash out here in the round of 32. They are playing up a year, of course, Jaleel, but it was RFA who came away with the victory in the end.
Competitive matchup, and that's what it looks like here when you have two teams that are putting it all out on the line. Very good stuff for RFA.
Real Futbol Academy through to the round of 16 as it ends. Full-time score here in Salt Lake. RFA 2, FC Cincinnati 1. This copyrighted broadcast of the 2026 MLS NEXT Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Player Development, LLC.